Hello, friend. Thank you so much for joining me over on YouTube. I just want to give you a quick heads up that the training that you're about to see was originally recorded via Facebook Live over on our Facebook page. If you like what you see and would like to learn more, make sure you join us over on Facebook for weekly tips and tricks to help you grow your direct sales business and work smarter, not harder. All right, friends, let's dig in. So here's the deal. We want to talk about host coaching as we're quickly approaching the summer, as we're quickly approaching the heat of summer. I live in Florida, and so there's a lot. It's starting to feel hot. Okay, guys, we've had like 90-degree days, and I'm like, wait, where did spring go? And so we need to start thinking about, everybody talks about the summer slump and how summer is hard and all these other things. So we really need to think about if we're running parties, okay, if we're using parties to sell our product, we need to be thinking about our host coaching, because host coaching is a very important, I would say, one of the most important pieces in your party planning process. It really is the most important thing. You've probably heard it before, host coaching is where you make your paycheck or your commission check, and the party is just where you pick it up. So it is really where we lay the groundwork, where we do all that hard and heavy lifting before the party actually starts. And again, if you've been hanging out with me for any length of time, I love host coaching. It is my passion. It was my heart. I loved my hostesses, loved them. And it can literally make or break your business if you're host coaching or not. And I saw that in true numbers with my team members who were not host coaching or who were unwilling to host coach because they didn't have time or they just didn't want to. And so they were working harder, not working smarter, because I would much rather you have a higher party average because you did a little work up front that truly can be, pretty systemized and pretty streamlined, and get better results on the back end. Okay. And you might be feeling like, as we head into summer, that you can kind of slack off a little bit in this area of your business. So I want to talk today about how do we not slack off? How do we make sure that our host coaching is dialed in for summertime? Because I'm not going to lie, and we all know this, it is a different season. It is a different season of the year. There's more travel. People are out, like we're in the water, we're, doing vacations, we're doing if you've got children or grandchildren, you're hanging out with them and you're doing lots of other fun things. So your time is a little more divided, a little less structured. It's just kind of a part of the season, right? So let's talk about, let's see, how many steps do I have here? I've got 5. So I've got 5 different things that we need to focus on and just kind of reminders that we need to have about host coaching over the summer. So number 1, guys, keep it simple. I can't tell you how many host coaching systems I have seen that are just overly complicated. Okay. This is honestly, guys, keeping it simple is true all the time, but especially over the summer, because if you're feeling like your schedule's more relaxed and it's a little more loose and you've got, other things pulling at you, like fun stuff and distracting stuff that you want to go do, your hostesses are feeling the same thing. So if you hit them with a super complicated essay, class training thing, they're going to be like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this is supposed to be a party and this is supposed to be fun. So make sure that your host coaching is very simple. Okay. Don't overcomplicate the process or make it difficult for your hostess to party with you. I see this all the time, and I know I'm going to step on some toes, but I see stuff like, okay, I need you to invite 200 people, but only do it in batches of 25, because if you do it in more than that, if you do more than that, you're going to get thrown in Facebook jail. Okay, that's complicated. And that's, if you have to say things like that to your hostess, you're doing something wrong. So let's make sure we're keeping it simple. How easy is it for someone to host? Okay. Also keep your host coaching messages. If you're sending messages, you're sending videos, however you're communicating with your host, keep them short and sweet and to the point. No extraneous stuff that they really don't need, or you don't necessarily need them to do, or you don't worry about it. Okay. Let's just keep it simple, keep it light, keep it fun. Hosts are busy over the summer doing the fun summer things. They don't have time to watch a 30-minute video. Okay. They don't have time for that. So let's keep it simple, friends. Let's keep it simple. Okay. Number 2, set clear expectations. This is so important throughout the year, but this is also really, really important over the summer. So what can your hosts expect from you? I want you to ask yourself that question. What can my hostesses expect from me? What do you expect from your hostesses? What are those things? How can we work on this relationship, this partnership with our hostesses What can they expect from you? What do you expect from them? Okay. So things to think about here. What do you expect them to do? Are you expecting them to post in the party? Are you expecting them to touch base with you? Are you expecting them to respond to messages? So making sure that our communication is clear and those expectations are clear. Are you expecting them to post in the party? What do you want them to post? Do you have guidelines or suggestions? Are you giving them the tools to do that, right? Are you going to supply those posts for them? You need to tell them that. Do you expect them to collect outside orders outside the party? Maybe they're non-Facebook friends or they're local friends if you're doing an in-person party. How do you expect them to do that, right? When do you expect them to close the party? When do you expect them to close the party? This one's really important because, again, people are traveling, so you could have the expectation, well, we're going to close on Monday. And she's like, dude, I'm out on Sunday on vacation. We're not closing the party. So having just a little bit of communication and clarification and setting those expectations up before the party actually starts is really, really important. Okay. Also, be very clear on when they can expect to hear from you. This is one that I remember when I was in the field, I like to do a quick phone call for my host coaching because that's what worked best for my schedule. Lots of people do Messenger, they do video. I'm a firm believer in you create the format that works best for you and your business. For me, having 4 kids, I didn't have time to go back and forth over Messenger or over text. I just wanted to have one quick phone call and knock it out. That was what worked best for me. So I would always set appointments to talk to my hostesses. And I was always shocked when people were like, well, I called my hostess, she didn't answer. Well, did you set an appointment with her? She's not just sitting around waiting for you to call. Like, when should they expect to hear from you? If you're booking further out, when should they expect to hear from you regarding their party? Is it, I always would tell my hostesses, as they booked, I would say, hey, I'm going to touch base with you because I was booked 4 to 6 weeks at a time. I would say, hey, I'm going to touch base about 2 weeks in advance, 2 weeks before your party, and we can start working out the details. Sound good? Yeah, that sounds great. So I never got messages. I never got frustrated hostess messages like, why haven't I heard from you? Because I clear communication, I set those expectations up in advance. This is when you're going to hear from me. I'm going to message you again on this date, let you know when your party's set up. I'm going to talk, we'll be chit-chatting throughout the party. I was very clear on what their expectations could be of me. Make sense? So again, set clear expectations on both sides. Number 3, and I think this one is one people probably miss, is get your host involved. And what I mean by that is have your host be part of the planning process and get them involved in the party process. And here's what I mean by that. Let them pick the theme for your party. So give them 2 options. I love to have, y'all know I'm big on theme parties. So I love to have, a couple of themes that I would use for each season. This does not mean you need to go out and create 32 themes to offer your host. That's not what I'm saying. I had 10 or 12 that I worked through at different times of the year based on what people are talking about, what the trending topics were. And so over the summer, if we're talking about, June, I would say, well, I have this summer type party or this summer type party. Which one do you think your friends would like? And so I would have it gave her some buy-in and some ownership of the party. Oh, my friends would love that. That sounds fabulous, right? Also asking her, one of the things I love to ask my hostesses was, are there any specific products that you would love to see featured during the party, or do you really feel like your friends would enjoy? And what I'm doing there, I'm not saying I'm going to write a whole different party template, but I might be able to hop on live. Okay. Or I might be able to add in an extra post or 2 with that product, because the things that your host is interested in, she's going to get excited about, she's going to start telling her friends about. So I need to be making sure that I personalize it just a little bit. This also, again, gives her some buy-in and some ownership in the party process. Okay. So letting them pick the theme because they know them, they know their friends best. Okay. And then asking that question of how can, what other products would you like to see? Is there something specific that you think your friends would like? Also, empower them to post before, during, and after the party. Okay. So giving them, again, those tools, getting them involved, and encourage them to chat with their friends during the party. So their friends are probably traveling too. They're distracted, right? They're having some summer fun. So they need to be talking to their hostesses. They need to be, their guests, their party, their friends. They need to be saying, hey, Wendy, you would love this thing. Make sure you check this out. Or Ida, hey, come check out this thing, right? So encourage them to chat. And also, guys, encourage them along the way. If your host is involved and you got this great partnership, you guys have clear expectations of each other, it's going to be a lot of fun to communicate with this hostess. So encourage her along the way during the invite process. Encourage her of, by how many people she already has going, instead of coming down negative. Okay, so this is a big issue that I see direct sellers have is, guys, you love to call out the stuff that your host is doing wrong. Okay, you love to call out the stuff that your host is doing wrong, and you get all riled up about it. Instead, what if you focus on the things that your host is doing right? Okay, because if you come out with all the things that your host is doing wrong and you're shaking your finger at her virtually or whatever on the phone, it comes out very negative. And friends, you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Okay, let's just be real. So it's a good idea, if we've set those clear expectations, we've gotten our host to buy in, encourage her, because that's going to deepen, or him, that's going to deepen that relationship. Okay. Another thing, keep it fun. Okay, guys, don't get so serious. Okay, these are parties. You guys are literally selling products most of the time on Facebook in your PJs. Okay, let's just be real. All right, don't be so serious. Keep it fun, keep it light. It goes without saying, this is a party, so let's keep it fun. Let's keep it light. And this is so needed over the summer, especially. We don't want to think about, I know for me, guys, we're wrapping up our homeschool year. I don't want to think about anything hard right now. Okay. I had my daughter ask me about something for college last night or 2 nights ago. And I was like, I can't even think right now. Can we just pause for just a second? Give me a few days. Then we can talk about the hard stuff. Okay. So people don't want to talk about hard stuff. We want to talk about sunscreen and beach towels and vacations. That's what we want to talk about. So, we don't want to think about the hard stuff. We're too busy enjoying the summer fun. So let's keep it fun. And if you don't make it fun to host a party, guess what? Your hosts are going to be like, I don't want to do that again. That was stressful. Okay. I didn't know when she was contacting me. The party was, I wasn't having any fun. She was so serious and she started bossing me around. Okay. I didn't know what she wanted me to do. So again, keep it light, keep it fun. Okay. Lots of games, lots of good stuff. Keep it fun. And then another thing, guys, over the summer, well, really anytime, but over the summer too, to get your hosts involved and to keep it a little on the lighter side, if you have product samples, send them to your hostesses. Okay. This is a great way to get more people involved, because they're going to see, what I would do is I would send my hostesses some sort of sample product and have them post in the party, have them go live and share what they love about it. And this did a couple of things. First of all, because people are so distracted over the summer, her friends are going to see her post before they see yours. You could post about that one product all day long, but when your host jumps on live and she's like, oh, I love this. This is amazing. Oh, let me taste this. Let me try that. Let me write this thing out. Like, when they start doing stuff like that, people are going to buy that thing. So also be strategic about your samples. So this is something really cool that if you've never done this before, that you could test over the summer to see if it boosts the engagement in your parties. And you could send this out with a host packet if you do a physical host packet. If you don't, then just stick it in an envelope, send it out, a couple of weeks in advance so she has plenty of time. And then maybe offer some little incentive to get your hostesses to go live during the party and share. Okay. Because trust me, when your hostess posts whatever product your host is posting about, like, her guests will love it. Her friends will be like, oh my gosh. Every time I've hosted a party and I've gone live, that's the stuff that would sell. It would sell every single time. Okay. So here we go. Top tips for the summer host coaching. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate. Nobody wants to be doing anything complicated over the summer. We want to be sipping margaritas, sitting by the pool. Okay. Second thing, set clear expectations, because schedules are so crazy. There's vacations and other fun things that they need to plan around, summer camps and all that stuff. Make sure that you're setting clear expectations of when you're going to talk to them and what you're going to provide them, and also what you expect from them. If you expect them to do something on a certain date, you need to be clear about that in your host coaching. Get the host involved, because this is kind of lots of different things, right? We're getting her buy-in. She's more engaged in the party, which means she's less likely to cancel. She's going to be more excited about inviting her friends. It's just much better if we get the host involved, picking the theme, maybe choosing a couple of products that you feature. Again, we're not creating brand new templates. We're just sprinkling some of her stuff in. Keep it fun, keep it light. Nobody likes seriousness over the summer. And then add in some samples to your host coaching. Like I'd be willing to bet some money. That will improve. Once you get those hostesses, it will improve your party average and improve your party engagement over the summer because our hostesses are posting and they're sold out on a specific product. So good. So good. All right, friends, have a fabulous rest of your week. Bye, guys.